Hello, it's that time of the year where the final warbands are going to be dropping soon for Beastgrave. We're all quite excited, I think, because it's new stuff. We've been waiting for it for a while, and even with the FAR shake-up, I guess people are just itching to get their hands on some new toys. So let's have a quick chat about potentially what these guys could bring to the table. Here they are, the two new warbands that are coming to Beastgrave. We've known what they are for quite a while now, not just because of this spoiler, but the card artwork kind of got people talking as well a bit, so it's no surprise that these were coming. So we've got the Daughters of Cain, Morgwaeths Blade-Coven, which a coven would suggest there's some type of occult witchiness going on there. And then we've got Morgoks Krushas, which basically, from judging by that name and the look of them, these are just going to be run up and smash stuff type of warbands. I, by no means, have any idea what these what these warbands are going to bring to the table, and this is very much unqualified stab in the dark. But I've had some theories about these, and so I'm going to kind of discuss those with you now. First up, Daughters of Cain. I don't really know much about the Daughters of Cain when it comes to kind of like the general lore of things. I know they're quite witchy, great models. There's a lot of people that have been kind of really looking forward to these being released. So I think the Daughters of Cain fans are going to be quite happy with these. 5 people warband. One in the middle, probably going to be a magic user. You've got the one at the top left with the snake bow. That is going to be a bit of a beastie. It's on a big base. Looking at that as well, and then the other 3 are your, I guess are your petitioners. I guess I'm really intrigued as to how these are going to run. I think these are going to be what everyone kind of wished Reavers would. We've got it looks like a couple of options of range in there as well. So you've got the main character's got a spear, so that's probably going to be a range 2. That whip is probably going to be a range 2 to 3, and that bow is definitely going to be a long range attack. What type of kind of wounds are we looking at? I think these are going to be very similar in wound count to the Godsworn, apart from maybe that bigger one may have 4 wounds just because of the sheer size of it. I'd imagine they're going to be quite quick. So just I think I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of with this warband are taking all the best bits from Reavers and from Godsworn and maybe kind of mashing them in there together. I'd imagine it's going to be dodges. Looking at them, so keep your ensnares handy if you're going to be playing them. And the interesting thing about both of these warbands is both of them are going to be using tokens from the token set that was released at the start. And if you bought one of the supply drop boxes, you would have got one of those token sets now as well. And the sacrifice token is the one that's going to be used with these guys. Oh, sorry, gals. And judging by the fact that the main character is holding aloft that chalice, that looks like a very sacrificial type chalice. Looks very Indiana Jonesy, doesn't it? So how is that going to work? I think these tokens for both of the warbands, particularly the Iron Jaws, I think their whole Inspire mechanic is going to revolve around it. I'm not really sure how with these though. I don't think it's going to be a full-on sacrifice. I don't think. Um, I mean, kind of one theory is that there could. How many tokens are there? There's 5, so that's 1 each. So what I think is the sacrifice token. It will be. I don't think it will be an action because this would make inspiring too easy. But they sacrifice a wound somehow. So whether it's a ploy, whether it's just like an upgrade or something like that. And once you have that token, you're inspired. But that would make them quite weak. So I think what that does is you lose a wound, but you also gain a wound, possibly, to inspire. Because that mechanic did put the original Ironjawz in quite a weird place that you had to lose a wound to inspire, and then that kind of made them a bit weaker. I think if kind of the whole fluff of a sacrifice is you're giving something to get something in return, and so I think if you get a sacrifice, if you use a ploy to sacrifice a wound, you get your sacrifice token to get that wound back, and then inspire. Possibly, I don't know. I'm just spitballing. I'm not a game designer. I don't know how broken that would be, but a lot of the mechanics in the game now, and going forward into season 4, they're going to be looking at past mechanics and going, where did we go wrong, and tweaking them as things go on. And I think that is what is going to happen here. I quite expect a lot of their poison. Possibly, you might see a few more poisons with these people. They're very kind of stabby daggers, so poison-coated weapons maybe. They look quick, so I think that they just look like they'd be quick and agile. So I think you're going to get lots of like speed-related boosts and bonuses. I may be wrong, like I said, spitballing. But what do you think? Am I barking up the right tree, possibly, or am I full of it? Do let me know in the comments. Next up, I'm looking forward to these ones. These are the Ironjawz and their brutes. So obviously we do have Ironjawz. They were in the first season. They were hard boys. Sorry. So kind of like the first tier of Ironjawz. These are the lads, the big boys. And it's really nice to see some new sculpts for Ironjawz brutes as well. So these are going to look great in my Warcry warband that I have, as I have brutes, and I can imagine people are going to be buying these for their army, because obviously they all have rules for Sigmar as well, and they're quite cool looking. So I really like them. I think a bit disappointed that they haven't got a magic user. I think we were all assuming from what we saw of the kind of like the artwork that had orcs in them, that this guy at the back with the skull helmet was probably going to be a shaman of some description. I mean, he could still be, but it doesn't look like there's anything magic about him. He's just going to run up to you and smash you in the head, which I approve of. I very much am a fan of aggro warbands. Now, I had a fairly kind of out there idea about them, about how they would inspire, but after kind of thinking about it, and it would be really weird to police sort of during a game, but originally I didn't think these guys would inspire because of the WAR tokens, and like I play Ironjawz and I play Savage Orcs in Sigmar, and you would build up WAR tokens to kind of give your army buffs and to make them stronger in certain ways. And I thought maybe that was going to carry over to here, where they wouldn't necessarily inspire, but the more WAR tokens that you have on your warrior, then the stronger they get. So they could just have on the back 2 WAR tokens, plus to speed, plus to wounds, plus that type of thing. But it's a lot of words on the card, and it does make it kind of a bit silly. So I think it's going to be very similar to how I described with the Daughters of Cain, where you get the token on there somehow. War tokens are sort of, in Sigmar, they're like an inspirational thing. You get them added if you have certain leaders on the board, and they add to your war tokens. So I think with the war tokens, perhaps maybe the leader might have something to do with how they're generated. So when the leader kills, the other two guys get a war token, and then they inspire maybe when they get to 3 or when they get to 2, something like that perhaps. Or again, it might be a case of where you get to play ploys or upgrades that influence how many upgrade tokens you get, and then they all upgrade when they get to 2. I'm intrigued how these token mechanics are going to play out in the game, and I'm just quite happy I get to add to my WAR. In terms of how they're going to be stats-wise, we are quite lucky where we have the Iron Jaws from Season 1 to look at. So I think at a minimum, these guys should be Gerzag, at a minimum, because they're all a tier up from him. So in terms of that, I think they're going to be high wound, they're going to be strong, they're going to be slow, but they're going to have all of these options. I think once they have war tokens, when they inspire, I think they're going to be absolute steamrollers, and I think it will be harder to put war tokens on perhaps for that particular purpose. I am leaning towards the fact that the majority of the war tokens will be because of actions that your boss does. So that may mean the playstyle is your boss goes in first, which helps inspire the guys to follow him in. That would make them quite a straight to the point Route 1 type warband, which I don't mind. I think that's kind of what brutes are. They're not, they're not sneaky in Sigmar. They show up for a fight, and the guys in charge tend to be absolute monsters. So I'm quite looking forward to that, and I think that mechanic would work in the game. But again, it all depends on kind of what those ploys are. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on the two. I wasn't sure about doing this particular video, but I just wanted to chat about them, get my kind of spew out what I've been thinking. I've been thinking that about the Iron Jaws for quite a while as well. So do let me know your thoughts in the comments. Really intrigued to hear what everyone else is expecting. I know a few people out there may have been playtesting them, so if you've been playtesting them, shh. But hopefully, as of time of recording, we're going to hear about these tomorrow, maybe. But the kind of sudden news about Blood Bowl makes me thinking we might have to wait another week. So, but in the meantime, let me know what you're thinking, and do give us a sub if you enjoy this type of content. Bit of a sneak peek to an upcoming video. I am going to be doing a giveaway in a shameless attempt to get to 100 subs. So there will be a giveaway of these warbands. News of that in a future video. But that will be, like, for that to happen, I do want to kind of get to 100 subs. So do give us a sub-a-roo. Plenty more stuff coming. More about these guys. More Warhammer Underworlds online. And now Indomitus is there, and I'm building my Necrons. There'll be plenty more of that as well in the future. So, thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts, and may your beer be cold and your ice cream aplenty in this crazy heatwave we're seeing in Europe and Britain at the moment. Thanks for watching. Cheers.